Humanity had survived the flood. They had witnessed the devastation of the world, the wrath of God, the complete erasure of everything they once knew. And yet they decided to try again. Not with violence, not with chaos, but with something far more dangerous: unity. They said, "Let us build. Let us make a name for ourselves." That sentence changed history. And heaven responded. Imagine the scene. The earth still scarred. The rivers swollen. Mountains still trembling from what had come before. And here they were, humans gathered together, speaking the same language, dreaming the same ambition. After the flood, humanity was commanded to scatter across the earth. But spreading means losing control, losing power, losing influence. And humans fear losing control more than anything. So they chose the opposite. They centralized. They built. They unified. The tower they raised was more than stone and timber. It was a monument to their ambition, their pride, their identity. They did not say, "Let us honor God." They said, "Let us make a name for ourselves." And in that sentence lies the first clue to why this story still matters today. Pause. Think about it. Recognition without obedience. Unity without humility. Power without restraint. That is the most dangerous kind of unity. If this fascinates you, hit subscribe now, because what comes next will shock your understanding of history. In Genesis chapter 11, it says, "Let us go down." Why would God come down? Was the tower that tall? Was the ambition so grand it threatened heaven itself? No. It was not the height of bricks, it was the height of the human mind. The mindset. The audacity. The arrogance. God's words are chilling. If they are united, nothing they plan will be impossible. That is not about building a tower. That is about potential. Human potential, without moral restraint. Imagine intelligence, ambition, knowledge, all united, without humility. That is Babel. They did not see it coming. They did not understand that every tool, every plan, every thought was being measured. And then, suddenly, words stopped making sense. Commands became noise. Plans fell apart. Friends became strangers. Panic, frustration, anger, division. Fear spread like a shadow across the city. The very thing they feared, scattering, became inevitable. If this part shocks you, leave a comment now. What would you have done if you were alive at Babel? I'll read the most interesting answers. The tower was not destroyed by fire. It was not destroyed by sword. It was dismantled from the inside. Through confusion. Through fractured communication. Through the silent weight of pride. And here is the question you must ask yourself. Are we building another Babel today? Global unity. Shared ambition. Human-centered identity. Progress without surrender. We see it in nations, corporations, movements, even in our own lives. Progress without humility is dangerous. Power without restraint is dangerous. Unity without conscience is dangerous. Pause. Humanity has always sought to reach higher, to control, to dominate, to prove. But history whispers a warning. Ambition without conscience leads to chaos. Are we learning, or are we repeating the mistakes of Babel? And the unsettling truth is this: Babel was not about a tower. It was about the human mind, the heart, the choices we make when we unite for our own glory rather than for truth. The story is ancient. The psychology is modern. It lives inside us all. If you want to uncover more hidden biblical mysteries that challenge everything you thought you knew, subscribe now. Because the next one goes deeper into truths you were never meant to see.